where was my head at the time that I did all these things, or a lapse of judgment, or whatever else I'm meant to have done? And it gets to a point where you really think, enough's enough.
To me, it feels like quite a significant moment because, of course, there is so much about Meghan Markle's time on those yachts that we do not know. And you know, I've spoken about this before. The Meghan Markle yacht girl claims simply will not go away.
Just when many believed there were no more surprises left in the Meghan Markle story, an explosive new claim has sent royal watchers into a frenzy. Sarah Ferguson has reportedly sparked fresh controversy by revisiting Meghan's alleged yacht past, reigniting questions that have followed the Duchess for years. The revelation has triggered intense debate, divided opinions, and renewed scrutiny across social media and royal circles alike. But what exactly was revealed? Why is it causing such a strong reaction? And could this become Meghan's most damaging controversy yet? And do you think Meghan could really have engaged in such? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. To help us create more videos and uncover the latest royal drama, please subscribe. Royal Family Truths Unveiled. For decades, the British royal family has lived in a world where almost nothing goes unnoticed. Every public appearance, every family gathering, every smile, and even every silence is carefully observed by millions of people around the globe. A simple gesture can spark endless discussion, while a missed event or unexpected comment can dominate news headlines for days. Few families in the world attract the same level of curiosity, fascination, and scrutiny. Surrounded by centuries of tradition, immense privilege, and an air of mystery, the monarchy continues to capture public attention like few institutions ever have. Yet among all the stories that emerge from palace walls, some carry a weight that reaches far beyond royal ceremonies and public duties. One of the most talked about chapters in recent royal history centers on Prince Harry. Over the years, he has openly shared his struggles, disappointments, and emotional experiences within the royal family. Through high-profile interviews, documentaries, and his widely discussed memoir, Spare, Harry painted a picture of a family dealing with deep tensions and unresolved conflicts behind closed doors. He spoke about painful misunderstandings, fractured relationships, and wounds that, in his view, were never properly addressed. Harry has repeatedly suggested that genuine healing can only happen when uncomfortable truths are acknowledged rather than hidden away. His comments ignited passionate reactions around the world. Many people admired what they saw as his courage to speak openly about difficult family matters, believing his honesty offered a rare glimpse into a highly secretive institution. Others questioned whether his account told the complete story, arguing that every family conflict has multiple sides and perspectives. The debate quickly became one of the defining conversations surrounding the modern monarchy. As these discussions continued to grow, another familiar royal figure found herself connected to the unfolding drama: Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York. Often affectionately known as Fergie, she has long stood apart from many members of the royal family because of her outspoken nature and vibrant personality. Throughout the years, she has experienced both public admiration and intense criticism, navigating controversies, personal challenges, and moments of triumph in full view of the world. What makes Ferguson particularly intriguing is her willingness to say what others often avoid saying. Unlike many royal figures who prefer silence, she has frequently spoken candidly about family relationships and life within royal circles. Her unique position, close enough to understand the inner workings of the monarchy, yet independent enough to speak freely, gives her words unusual significance. Now, with her name linked to an already sensitive and highly debated royal story, public interest has surged once again. People are watching closely, eager to see whether her perspective might reveal new insights, deepen existing tensions, or uncover details that could reshape how this ongoing royal saga is understood. Who is the whistleblower, revealing so much about Meghan's past? What does she represent in the royal family? Let's delve into the details of Sarah Ferguson, whose unexpected voice has left royal fans stunned. Sarah Ferguson's royal dual reality. Sarah Ferguson adds a deeply fascinating and emotional layer to this unfolding royal story. When she married Prince Andrew in 1986, she stepped into what many people saw as a dream life. The wedding itself was grand and watched by millions around the world, placing her instantly in the spotlight. At first, she appeared to fit well into the royal family, bringing a lively and modern energy that many thought would refresh the monarchy. For a time, she was seen as a fresh and charming presence in royal life. She carried the image of a cheerful young duchess, full of warmth and personality. But behind the bright public image, life inside the royal system was far more difficult than it looked from the outside. The rules, expectations, and constant attention made daily life extremely heavy and restrictive. As time went on, Ferguson became one of the most talked-about royal figures in the media. She faced constant and often harsh criticism about her appearance, especially her weight. Her spending habits were closely watched and judged. Even her personal choices and relationships became public discussion. Every mistake, no matter how small, seemed to be magnified and repeated in the headlines. Eventually, her marriage to Prince Andrew ended in divorce, but her connection to the royal family did not disappear. Through her two daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, she has remained closely tied to royal life. Over the years, she worked hard to rebuild her identity outside the palace walls. She became an author, started business projects, supported charities, and openly shared her personal struggles and lessons learned. Today, Sarah Ferguson is seen as someone who understands the royal world in a way few others can. She has experienced both sides of it, the glamorous public image and the intense private pressure that comes with it. This unique experience is why her name always draws attention whenever new royal discussions or rumors arise. Her involvement in any current whispers naturally raises questions. Is she speaking because she feels the public deserves to know more truth about royal life? Is she still emotionally connected to past relationships and loyalties? Or is she simply being pulled back into the endless cycle of royal speculation that follows her name? What makes her especially intriguing is her unusual position. She is close enough to the royal inner circle to understand its hidden realities, yet independent enough to speak and live freely outside its strict boundaries. This combination makes even her silence meaningful and her words powerful. As a result, royal watchers continue to pay close attention to everything connected to her, carefully searching for meaning behind every hint, comment, or appearance. But has Sarah Ferguson previously done anything that made Meghan unsettled in the past? How did it happen? Let's dive into the details of Sarah Fergusono's subtle swipe that sparked the Meghan debate. Ferguson sparks Meghan royal debate. During a public discussion about life in the spotlight and the duties that come with representing the royal family, Sarah Ferguson made comments that quickly drew wide attention. Her words sounded simple on the surface, but many people felt they carried a deeper meaning, especially given ongoing conversations about the Duchess of Sussex. Ferguson stressed that anyone who appears in public on behalf of the monarchy should show warmth, friendliness, and a positive spirit. In her view, the public responds best to royals who are open, smiling, and easy to connect with. She warned that people do not want to see a grumpy princess, suggesting that those who are unwilling to smile or engage kindly with crowds may not be suited for such a visible role. Although she did not mention Meghan Markle by name at any point, the timing and tone of her remarks led many to wonder who she might have been referring to. The comments spread quickly because they came at a time when public discussion about Meghan's journey within the royal family was already active and often divided. Some critics of Meghan interpreted Ferguson's words as a quiet but clear reflection of concerns that have been raised before about how Meghan connects with the public and handles media attention. From their perspective, Ferguson was simply saying aloud what others had already been thinking. However, supporters of Meghan pushed back strongly against that reading. They argued that Ferguson's statement was general advice about royal behavior, not a hidden attack on any specific person. In their view, it is unfair to attach a personal meaning to remarks that were not directly aimed at anyone, especially in a context where public figures are often asked to speak broadly about their experiences. What made the situation even more interesting was Ferguson's own background. As someone who has lived under intense media pressure and public scrutiny for many years, She understands the demands and emotional weight of royal life. This personal experience gives her opinions a certain influence, since she speaks not only as a commentator, but also as someone who has been inside the royal world and felt its challenges firsthand. Whether or not her words were intended as a subtle critique of Meghan, they still reopened familiar debates about how different members of the royal family present themselves and connect with the public. In a monarchy where every statement is carefully examined and often reinterpreted, even a short remark about smiling and public image was enough to spark renewed discussion about Meghan Markle's role in the ongoing royal narrative. But did Meghan envisage the recent move from Sarah Ferguson? What gave Meghan hints on Sarah's moves? Let's dig into the details of Sarah Ferguson's reported tell-all that sparked fresh Meghan anxiety. Royal memoir sparks silent tension. Meghan Markle was found reportedly paying close attention to the growing discussion around Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, as talk continues about the possibility that she could one day publish a revealing memoir or take part in a major television interview about her life inside royal circles. Although nothing has been officially confirmed, the idea alone has been enough to attract strong public curiosity and media attention. The concern being discussed in reports is not based on any verified accusation or direct claim, but rather on uncertainty about what Sarah Ferguson might choose to say if she ever decided to speak openly. Having lived for many years within the royal environment, and having experienced both its public glory and private pressures, she is seen by some observers as someone who has seen a wide range of events, relationships, and tensions that the public has never fully understood. Ferguson's unique position adds to the interest. She was once married to Prince Andrew, and even after their divorce, she has remained connected to the royal family in various ways over the years. Because of this long and continuing relationship, some believe she could offer personal reflections on royal life, including moments behind closed doors, emotional challenges, and the complex ways members of the family interact with each other when the cameras are not present. In this context, Meghan's supposed concern is not necessarily that Ferguson would single her out for criticism. Instead, the broader worry is that any detailed and honest account of royal life could reopen old public debates, bring back attention to past controversies, or introduce new details that had never been made public before. It is also suggested that such revelations could affect ongoing efforts to improve communication and reduce tension between Prince Harry and the wider royal family, even if unintentionally. At the same time, it is believed that Sarah Ferguson could have both personal and financial reasons for sharing her story, if she ever chooses to do so. Like many public figures with long careers in the spotlight, there is ongoing interest in her experiences, and publishers or media producers are often eager for exclusive stories connected to royal life, which tend to attract global attention and strong sales or viewership. In the end, the situation reflects how even unconfirmed ideas about royal memoirs or interviews can quickly grow into major public conversations. While there is no confirmed book, interview, or specific claim on the table, and nothing directly linking Ferguson to any allegations about Meghan, the mere possibility of her speaking more openly is enough to keep speculation alive. It highlights how strongly the public remains interested in the private world of the royal family, where even silence can generate as much attention as speech. What have fans and critics said about Meghan's time in the royal family? How has she transformed so far? Let's talk about Meghan Markle's journey from being a royal newcomer to becoming a lightning rod. Inside Meghan Markle's public journey. Meghan Markle's story has often been described as remarkable and unusual. She began her career in California as an actress, working in television before stepping into a completely different world when she married Prince Harry. To many people, she represented a new and modern face of royalty. Her supporters admired her confidence, her mixed-race background, and her willingness to speak openly about issues such as identity, mental health, and independence. They saw her as someone who brought fresh energy and a more global outlook into a very traditional institution. However, others viewed her very differently. Critics accused her of being too ambitious, difficult to fit into royal expectations, and unwilling to fully accept long-standing traditions and rules. After her marriage, The couple's decision in 2020 to step back from official royal duties became a major turning point. Their move to North America, especially settling in California, attracted global attention. They began building new careers outside the palace system, signing media agreements, producing content, and launching charitable and commercial projects. While they gained freedom and control over their lives, they also remained under constant public attention. Every statement, interview, or appearance continued to be analyzed and discussed around the world, showing that leaving royal duties did not mean leaving public scrutiny. The latest wave of discussion surrounding Meghan comes at a sensitive time. She has often emphasized her desire to focus on her family life, personal growth, and professional ventures. Her supporters believe many of the new claims or criticisms are part of an ongoing effort to keep her tied to negative stories from her past. On the other hand, some critics argue that because she remains a highly public figure, questions about her past actions and decisions are valid and should be addressed openly and clearly. What stands out most in Meghan's public image is the strong divide in opinion about her. Very few modern personalities attract such intense and opposing views from the public. Some admire her as a symbol of change and resilience, while others see her as controversial and polarizing. This deep split in perception ensures that any story involving her continues to gain widespread attention and discussion across media platforms worldwide. In today's fast-moving media world, stories about public figures like Meghan tend to spread quickly and take on lives of their own. Social media reactions, news headlines, and commentary all combine to shape public opinion in real time. This makes it difficult to separate fact from interpretation or emotion from evidence. As a result, discussions about her often reflect broader debates about royalty, modern identity, and media influence in the modern age, making her story continuously relevant across global conversations and audiences' worldwide media spaces. Has Harry made any statement so far? What interpretation can Harry's silence be given? Let's delve into the details of the power of silence and Harry's role. Meghan and Harry's strategic silence. One of the most talked about parts of this unfolding story is the quiet response from Meghan and Harry. In a world where public figures often rush to respond to rumors within minutes, their silence feels noticeable and even powerful. Instead of jumping into arguments or online statements, they have chosen to stay calm and distant. For some observers, this looks like a smart and controlled strategy, refusing to give attention to noise that could grow bigger if fed. For others, it raises questions about what is happening behind the scenes and whether legal advice or private concerns are shaping their decision to stay quiet. Harry has always been fiercely protective of Meghan. He has spoken many times about the damage he believes media pressure caused their family. If he chooses to speak out now, his words could shift the entire conversation. If he stays quiet, that choice will also be dissected endlessly. The couple's post-royal life in Montecito has had highs and struggles. Big deals, public projects, and private family moments all play out under constant observation. This new wave of speculation tests their carefully built independence. Can they rise above it, or will it pull them back into the very drama they left Britain to escape? At the center of all this attention is a simple question about silence itself. In modern public life, silence is rarely seen as empty. It is often read as meaning something important. When famous couples avoid responding, people fill the gap with guesses, theories, and endless debate across media platforms. For Meghan and Harry, every choice now carries weight, because even small actions are closely watched and quickly interpreted. Their supporters see strength in restraint, while critics see uncertainty that invites more speculation. In the end, whether they speak or stay silent, the conversation around them is unlikely to fade soon. Whatever direction this story takes, it reflects a wider truth about fame in today's world. Public figures no longer live private lives in the traditional sense, as every moment can become global conversation within minutes. For now, all eyes remain on Meghan and Harry, not because of what they have said, but because of what they have chosen not to say. That silence continues to shape opinions and keeps the story alive in public imagination far longer than any direct statement might have done. Whether this silence will eventually lead to clarity or further confusion remains to be seen, but what is clear is that every pause, Every lack of response and every quiet moment becomes part of a much larger story that the public continues to build on their behalf. In that way, silence is no longer empty. It becomes a voice of its own, shaping perception without a single word being spoken over time. What was Sarah's motive for revealing Meghan's past at the moment? Could there be more to everything than what is being revealed? Let's dive into the details of the motives, timing, and the bigger picture. Royal timing and hidden motives. Every major story connected to the royal family tends to raise the same deeper question: why is this coming out now? Timing often becomes just as important as the story itself. When new claims or old issues resurface, people naturally begin to wonder whether it is simply a matter of truth finally being revealed, or whether there are other forces quietly at work behind the scenes. Some observers believe that these stories appear when hidden facts finally find their way into the open, no matter how long they have been buried. From this view, time does not erase truth, it only delays it. Others, however, see a more complex picture. They suspect that personal disagreements, unresolved conflicts, or even carefully planned information leaks may play a role. In this interpretation, timing is not random at all, but strategic, designed to influence how the public thinks at moments when attention is already focused on the monarchy. The modern royal family also operates in a world that is very different from the past. Today, it faces constant questioning about its role, its relevance, and how open it should be with the public. People now expect more transparency than before, and silence is often interpreted as secrecy. At the same time, the institution still values privacy, especially in matters involving personal struggles or sensitive history. This balance between openness and protection is becoming harder to maintain. Social media has made this challenge even greater. In earlier times, news traveled slowly and could be managed through official statements and traditional media channels. Now, information spreads within seconds. A single rumor can reach millions of people before it is even confirmed or denied. Once a story gains momentum online, it becomes extremely difficult to control, even if parts of it are inaccurate or incomplete. Any discussion that connects back to past controversies involving Prince Andrew adds another layer of difficulty for the royal household. These reminders often reopen public debates and bring back uncomfortable memories. They also increase scrutiny as people begin to re-examine past decisions and question how situations were handled. For the monarchy, this creates pressure not only to respond, but to be seen as responding appropriately. At the same time, these moments highlight a long-standing tension between private life and public responsibility. The royal family is expected to remain dignified and private, yet it is also held to a high standard of accountability because of its public role. Finding the right balance between these expectations is never simple. The departure of Meghan and Harry from royal duties already reshaped public discussions about the institution. It changed how many people view tradition, independence, and modern identity within the monarchy. Now, each new development is often viewed through that same lens of change and transition. Whether the current wave of attention fades quickly or grows into something larger will depend on what further information comes to light and how those involved choose to respond in the days ahead. What is the likely aftermath of Sarah Ferguson's revelation? What will be the likely response from the royal family? Let's find out what happens next in this royal saga. Royal drama under global watch. At this moment, attention across the world remains firmly fixed on the unfolding royal situation. Many questions are being asked, yet few clear answers are available. People are wondering whether new information will surface that could change the direction of the story. Others are asking if Meghan or Harry will finally respond directly and openly to the growing public discussion. At the same time, observers are closely watching the palace, waiting to see whether an official statement will be released or whether silence will continue as the chosen path. What is clear is that interest in the royal family has not reduced in any way. If anything, it continues to grow stronger with each passing development. Stories involving royalty often carry a special mix of emotion and mystery. They involve real people, real relationships, and real decisions, but they are also shaped by public roles and expectations. This combination keeps audiences deeply engaged across different countries and cultures. Meghan's journey, which has already included many public highs and lows, now appears to have added yet another complex chapter. Each new situation places her again under global attention. Those who support her believe she has shown strength before and will continue to do so. Others remain cautious and wait for further clarity, hoping unanswered questions will eventually be addressed in a clear and open way. Prince Harry's strong sense of protection toward his family, along with Sarah Ferguson's outspoken style, and Prince Andrew's long-standing public challenges, all add different layers to the wider royal narrative. The institution itself continues to balance tradition with modern expectations, trying to manage scrutiny in a world where information spreads quickly and opinions form even faster. This creates a constantly shifting environment that is difficult to control fully. In the end, what keeps this story alive is the blend of human emotion and extraordinary circumstance. Themes such as loyalty, trust, love, disagreement, and reputation all appear within it. These are experiences that many people understand in their own lives, even if the setting is far more public and intense. As time moves forward, interest is unlikely to fade. Instead, new developments will likely continue to appear, ensuring that global attention remains focused on what happens next in this ongoing royal story. Ultimately, this situation reflects how modern public life and traditional institutions now intersect more than ever before. Every development is discussed instantly, analyzed widely, and interpreted in many different ways. As audiences continue to follow closely, patience and speculation grow side by side. Whether answers come soon or much later, the global interest surrounding the royal family will likely remain strong, shaping conversations for a long time ahead, very much so. So, what do you think about Sarah Ferguson's jabs at Meghan Markle? Do you think Harry is being careful or protective? We'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.